Yo, let me turn these off. I forgot. Peace. This your boy. This your boy Shaman Truth, man. Just bringing y'all another video. I'm not sure. I was looking at my videos and I was looking at the downloads I was getting on my list. Cause I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I'll get downloads and shit, and then I will write them down. Some of them I ain't speak on, but if I did, I'll just alliterate more. But I looked at my videos. I haven't seen this download being put up, but it's very crucial for the divine primordial being. That bet on itself to an extent, right? Got to be comfortable being outside of your comfort zone. You know, you got to make the unknown comfortable. That is the key right now in order to move and climb mountains and do even greater things, like, you know, doing those things you're scared of. You got to actually be comfortable being in the unknown, you know, being in the free flow. You know, basically you have to be comfortable being in free flow. That's basically what it is. You know, you got to be comfortable doing certain things that you never done before, but you're being called to within the soul. So that's the key right now. You know, the mind will always try to limit you and tell you all type of shit to try to get you to be in a comfortable way of living. But you're always going to be pulled in a different direction to try to get you outside until you keep resisting certain necessary changes to where you're going to be forced outside of your comfort zone. Which one you want? Do you want to go for it on your accord, or do you want to be forced to go towards it? You know what I'm saying? It's better to just do it. You know, there's different situations for that. But you got to learn how to turn that goddamn mind off. You know, the mind will always try to get you locked in your old ways of doing things, old ways of thinking, to where it's not beneficial to have new beginnings from that type of limited mindset, especially the old ways of you doing things. You got to switch it up. Definitely got to switch it up. You got to learn how to, like I said, turn that mind off when you're going towards things that you're not familiar in. I'll just give you an example. Like boxing. That's like if you're an aspiring fighter and you never went in there. You know, you never went in there, but you're getting called to go in there, right? Or you go in there. I don't give a fuck how crazy it seems to the ego. If you're being called to do something, it has nothing to do with what people want you to do, but you just have a soul call towards that particular thing, you know, you go do it. You know, you go do it. I don't want to see you get forced to do certain things, because I'm not gonna lie. Even as small as you, let's just say your soul wants you to hoop, nigga, and you keep pushing it back. There's gonna be a point in time where your soul's gonna force you to be in a position to where you gotta do that because your soul wants to do it. You know? So it's like, do those things that your higher self, your true divine self really seeks for. You know, do those things. And those are usually outside of your comfort zone, because it's always trying to expand. It's always trying to learn new things. It's always trying to do those things that it really feels pulled to. So to the ego, it's new. To the ego, it's alien. To the ego, it's hard. Well, the ego that is against certain things. So you kind of have to learn how to turn it off. Turn the mind off at certain instances when you're attempting to achieve new things, do new things, stuff like that. Learn how to be in the flow and just do it. And not have a result of success of just going with the motion. Just go with the motion and not, you know, don't be a fool, but you know what I'm trying to say. Just don't go out there thinking that you're going to know exactly what you're doing. You know, sometimes those are the lessons. You know, you ain't got to be perfect. You ain't got to be perfect going towards, you know, those things that you keep pushing off, going outside of your comfort zone. You ain't gotta be fully knowing what's gonna happen. You just kind of have to go with the flow, roll the dice. Definitely gotta roll the dice, cause there's a decision for some divine primordial beings that got something coming up, and it's gonna take you to be outside of your comfort zone. It's gonna be a new everything. I'm not too sure what you got going on, but something's going on. Something's going on. I feel it. But it's going to take you to get outside of that little box that you put yourself in. I'm not too sure what's coming up. But it's something that you're not used to. Something that you're not used to. I'm not speaking to this myself because I got to download shit. It's obviously for me too. But something that you're not used to that is coming into play, and this is going to take for you to get outside of that old way of comfortability. You got to be comfortable in the new beginning that you got for yourself. You know, just to give you an example, you got a fighter that's tense. He's real tense in the ring. He's not comfortable being outside of his comfort zone. He's all tense. He's not throwing punches. He's all, he's too much in his head. That's an example of you not being comfortable, all right? Let's say you go to, let's say you're from Arkansas, right? You go all the way down to Texas, but you staying in the crib. You buying groceries. You buying groceries off the phone. You ain't going outside. You ain't doing nothing to go explore, go on adventures. You staying in your comfort zone. You're not being comfortable being outside of your comfort zone. You in a new place, but you trying to box yourself in like you in a panic room or some shit. You know what I mean? You got to learn how to be, get out of your shell to expand. You know what I'm saying? Just like the crabs do when they get a new shell, they got to get out of that comfort zone of their old shell to be in a new shell. They don't think about it. They just do. Just like the locusts, you look on the trees and you will see the locusts. They were comfortable getting outside of that comfort zone, meaning they got out of that that old shell. That's kind of how you have to do. You kind of have to go with it with the feeling of, there's a certain type of feeling you have when you go towards these things. You got to be inspired by the fire within your being and turn the mind off and just take it as a lesson. Like, this is a learning experience. I don't have to know everything. I don't have to get it right 100%. This is a learning experience. That's kind of how you got to see it. Because if you don't get out of there, you'll never know it. You'll never learn. You know what I'm saying? But there's going to be a decision coming up where it's going to take you outside of your comfort zone. You got to be comfortable. So it's all about just going with the flow, making sure that you're staying in free flow, making sure that you're not letting parts of the mind that can be limited get in the way of you being comfortable, being outside of that box that you made for yourself. Just best thing to do is, give you a little tip. Listen to some shit that you like. Get you loose. The key is to get loose. That makes you comfortable, is to get loose. You know what I'm saying? Loose is the key. You don't want to be all stiff and shit. That can be in terms of your mind and how you feel, because you're not able to be fluid with how you feel, and then with feeling comes movement. You know what I'm saying? So you do got to be loose in how you feel in a certain type of ways to be comfortable in the unknown and being comfortable doing something that you're not used to. You got to be loose. You can't be a perfectionist to that extent to where, you're not, to where you're not even going towards. You want it to be a perfect moment, perfect everything, but sometimes you just got to do it. Sometimes you just got to do it and then learn from the experience. It's okay. It's okay to just, go into something where you don't know. That's when it comes You know, having that faith in yourself that, hey, I can achieve, I can get it done. And that's why you gotta have that faith in yourself. You gotta have that faith in yourself. If you ain't got that faith, nobody's gonna have faith in you. You know, you gotta have that faith that you can accomplish, you know, what you setting forth, because your soul is gonna lead you somewhere, and in terms of like a direction. But it's up for you to take that. You take those steps, those inspired actions, and you do it yourself before you're forced by spirit. I'd rather you make the decision, confirmation. I'd rather you do it and you learn on your pace rather than learning on pace of your higher self. When it say, I had enough of this, you might as well, you know, get on board with your conscious decision rather you keep putting it off to where you have to deal with it. It's okay to feel scared, but at least you admitting something and then you work through that energy. If you say, no, I'm good, and you making excuses and you're lying to yourself, you're never going to get nowhere. But if you're honest with yourself, you can work through that. And you know, be honest with, you know, how you feel. You might be scared, you might be this, you might be that, but at least you're working through it. At least you're working through it. You're not just, hey, hello. Hey, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you again. Nice to see you again, Nireste. Familia. I still gotta learn Spanish and shit. I ain't gonna lie. I'm capping though. I've been supposed to know Spanish. I ain't even gonna cap. ¿Cómo está? Yeah, much love, much love. Appreciate you dropping by. Maybe a message for you. You just gotta you know. Oh, Liliana. I remember. I used to be in I didn't want to say that because I didn't want to be wrong, but I think I remember. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, you know. Beautiful day outside. Sunny. You know, I'm happy. How about yourself? Oh, you said you're good. That's good to hear. Yeah, it's a beautiful day outside, so when the weather's beautiful, hey, I'm feeling great. You know what I'm saying? I just don't like the cold, and too much clouds kind of get me a little dim and shit, because it's like, where the fuck is the sun at, you know? I love the sun. Yeah. The sun is beautiful. I mean, I need that shit, goddamn it. Even though the sun kind of spits out certain things, I still love the sun. But yeah, something about being comfortable being in the unknown is popping up, because we're going to be, certain things is just going to come up. I don't know. You might have a trip you want to take, and it's a culture that you're not even used to. But that's a good thing to do. It's a learning experience. As long as you have common sense, it's a learning experience. You know, you might as well do it now before you're forced to. Before something happened to where you got to be forced, and it's just so much stress. You feel me? I'm telling you this because I'm from experience. So it's good to just get out here and do it. You know, like skydiving, even that crazy ass shit. Well, that's to the extreme. But even skydiving, if you feel called to skydive, fuck it. Go do that shit. With a guide, of course, but you know, shit like that. Because there's some things I'm working on. Yeah. See, you got to get out of your comfort zone. I knew you were here for a reason. Yeah, I knew you were here for a reason. Yeah, it's a learning experience. I was just saying that you got to get out of your mind, and you got to get out of that old little box that you place yourself. And if you're being called to do things a different way, that's just your soul. That's just your soul telling you certain things, right? And it wants you to expand and learn. It wants you to expand. If you keep putting yourself in that little box, it's feeling like it's stagnant, and it's not seeing growth. So it's going to force you to interact. You know, as long as you keep your hair covered, I'll say show your face. As long as you can keep your head covered, because I'm a spiritual person. I just don't want people sucking from your fucking crown and your third eye. That's just my advice. You know, you should always cover your head. But yeah, you should definitely go live and, you know, show the people who you is, so they can see, you know, who they talking to, you know. But that's being comfortable, being outside of your comfort zone, because that's outside of your comfort zone. You got to be comfortable. But the thing is, you got to be loose in a sense where, confirmation with that horn. You got to be loose in a sense where you're comfortable being who you are unapologetically. That's what being loose is. You really don't care how people see you, or you really don't care the inexperience that you have in this pursuit. You're just going to do it for a learning experience, not to be perfect at it, because you're never really going to be on point with it for something you're just doing. Oh, you're welcome. You're never going to be the best at doing something or you just getting into it. So you got to give yourself grace. Just like with this boxing shit. I mean, you in here for a reason, shawty, so you got to work on that shit. You got to work on that shit, Liliana. It's shadow work, though. There's something in the past that may have had you judgmental over yourself. It could be due to, other people, ways of viewing you, or it could be judgmental people, but you shouldn't let that get in the way. Yeah, much love, but you shouldn't let that get in the way. So many people feel some type of way with me, but it's like, bro, you really think I give a fuck about you, bro? I'ma still be me. Yeah, negative vibes. I feel you on that. There's always gonna be a negative motherfucker. It's duality. You gotta learn how to be in a crowd where everybody's booing you, and you gotta learn how to be in a crowd where everybody's cheering you. You gotta be able to be in a crowd where everybody's doing both. It's like going out in your ring walk. You're gonna be in a territory where everybody's fucking hating you, they're saying all type of shit, but you gotta be able to be like, all right, I feed off that energy, like, lets you know who you is. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I'm the underdog. I know who the fuck I am. I love that pressure. They try to put all this pressure on me to try to make me, fold. It just confirmation. It just makes me stronger as a person. Yeah, I'm a resilient individual. When I see motherfuckers, they out to get me, they're against me, it just makes me go even harder. So you better off not saying shit, because when you let me know, oh, you trying to put resistance, I go even harder. That's kind of how you got to be, with your mind too, with your mind. So check this out. Your mind's telling you can't do it. Your mind's giving you limited beliefs, trying to tell you shit. Next thing you know, you like, nah, fuck that. You just go do it. And you're like, damn, I'm glad I did that. That's kind of like how I am. Really don't like talking to people, right? I'm not going to lie. But certain people, I guess I initiate conversation. I'm really not the person to initiate convos, but I've been learning how to do that. Because I'm like, not shy. I just don't like feeling people's energy. Because, I don't know. I guess I feel a little too much. Not to say I'm sensitive in a sense where I'm taking everybody's words to heart. More so, just I can feel people's energies a little too much, to where I kind of like to stay to myself. But I'm learning how to just work through that. That's a gift, that feel everybody, so I can know who the fuck I'm fucking with, who the fuck I shouldn't be fucking with. But I'm just like, I just be loose. I'm like, oh, I don't give a fuck. I feel you on that. It be like that when you can feel a lot. I just don't like, feeling everybody and then getting everything about you. I'm like, fuck that. I'd rather go stay over here in the corner and watch everybody. But, I'm learning how to get out of there, because I'm the type of person, I'm an introvert, but I can be an extrovert if I want. I could talk to you for hours if I click with you. So that's what I'm saying. It just depends on who you is in the situation. But I'm learning how to get out of that comfort zone. So there's a couple of things too that I'm working on, but it's taking me to get out of my mind, because my mind has a lot of bullshit until my mind sees it can do it. Meaning like he'll get on board. It's like swimming. First off, your mind's gonna tell you you're gonna drown. But sometimes you just gotta get out there and do it. Not to say in a deep pool or nothing like that. Maybe with an instructor at first, so make sure you're safe, but you definitely gotta go above that mind talk, that old programming that you placed within yourself, and kind of go off a new program. Tell yourself that you can do it. Start changing the way you talk to yourself. And go against that by going in the fire. There's only one way to beat the mind is to go in the fire where the mind doesn't want you to go to. You got to go where your mind ain't taking you, in a sense where sometimes you got to put hard over mind decisions where your passion is driving you more than your mind. You know, you're pushing yourself there, even though your mind is telling you it doesn't want to do it, but you know your heart is telling you it wants to do it. You kind of got to go with that heart feeling in certain situations. You know, you can't, because the mind sometimes is going off its old program, is trying to stay comfortable. That's the thing with the ego. The ego loves being comfortable in its own little way of doing things, you know, loves being in its little box. But let's just say this, you got all the growth you can out of that box. So it's time to make a new box. You feel me? It's time to make shop somewhere else. So you got to learn how to integrate little steps to get you on that path. Little steps. You ain't got to go do everything in one sit. You know, you just break it down. Little progress helps. You know what I'm saying? That little shit help. You just don't want to, you know, go fully in there if you truly not ready. Just like jumping your ass in a river and shit. 16-foot river. No, go in a 6-foot pool and see if you can swim. Get comfortable with that, like, you know what I'm saying? Do little steps in certain type of ventures and certain type of, you know, things that you're doing. You want to take little steps. Oh, you're welcome, Liliana. Thanks for coming in. And I hope your kids had a wonderful day at school. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Much love. Peace. Thanks for dropping by. Yeah, you definitely got to take them baby steps towards doing those new things, yo. Because at least you're making progress. Ain't no problem. Much love. Peace. Definitely making progress better than not doing shit, staying in that old comfort zone. Confirmation with my spirit, I'm going to pull it up. You got to lead by example. Yeah, you got to lead by example. Maybe you're not seeing it in the old way of you doing things because you ain't put it there. That's why you got to lead by example with your mind. If that makes sense. Like, nah, nigga, you going to see we can do it. I'm going to show you we can do it by being... Keep smiling. I appreciate that. Hey, thank you. Thank you very much. Hey, I appreciate that, you know. Hey, thanks. Keep smiling. Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks. You know, I try to do my best. You know, to show teethus. Oh, yeah, you know. Try to do my best. But you definitely gotta lead by example, yo. I'm seeing this motherfucker pulling up again. Yeah. You gotta be the leader over your mind. It's because sometimes they be stuck on old programs. Like I'm on a program right now that I keep putting on myself. I gotta get out of my comfort zone. Certain things I'm like, nah, bro. I'm gonna be forced to do certain things to the where I'm like, bro, I should have been doing it back then, bro. Because now it's going to even be more uncomfortable. At least back then I could have been doing baby steps, right? To get myself, you know, learning a little bit more. But now you've been waiting so long, putting it off until where now you got to be in the fire. Now it's like you got to play catch up. I'm going to give you an example. It's like this. You a fighter, right? And you know you were supposed to be working on your shit. But you put it out there like, hey, I'm gonna do this. Next thing you know, there's a fight coming up. You ain't trained jack shit. The only time you train was when you got that 2-week notice for the fight. But you could have been doing all that work. You know you've been getting downloads to get in there and make sure you're sharp, et cetera, et cetera. So when you get the call, now you have to play catch up. You don't want to do that. You always want to take baby steps. You always want to slowly get to that space in that place where you're heading gradually. So when the opportunity comes, when something's knocking at the door, you're answering rather than you're forced to answer. Now you got to do all this extra shit. Now you got to, try to get your shit on the par with your opponent. No, just get in this shit right now because I ain't going to lie. I'm supposed to be, I don't want to tell nobody what I'm doing. But, I'm supposed to be doing some shit, but it's outside of my comfort zone to where I'm noticing it's going to get to a point in time where they're going to throw my ass in the fire. And it's like, hey, bro, you're going to learn, but you could have been learning. You could have been doing them steps. That's why I'm saying these steps are crucial. These steps are crucial. I'm not too sure for the divine primordial being, I'm not too sure what you got. But if this is something to you, there's a reason. So you can put it where it fits on certain things in your life that you got to get outside of your comfort zone and start learning from the experiences of you just doing it, rather than you just keep holding it off, because there's going to be a point in time where you have no choice but to do that thing, especially when it's in your soul, in your hearts of hearts. Yeah, he's going to force you to do certain things. And you ain't going to, I hope you don't reject it, even if, well, depending on the severity of the task, even if you were holding off, no, you just go do it and you go catch up and learn from that. Like, yeah, I should have just been on this shit. Not depending on how extreme it is, no, you better go start taking the baby steps. Like, you feel me? Certain things, like, you want to be a NASCAR driver type shit. No, go take them baby steps. I don't want you, I want you, dying off that shit, getting hurt because you just hopping in there, not learning and training, not learning the game, the rules of the road, the rules of the race. Certain things, like, depending on how extreme and how wild it is, you want to take your time with it and make progress. But certain things don't really take that much. Even if you do take a little second off it, you can get right back in there. It just, you got to play catch up. But the key is to get loose and don't let the old shit that you was saying to your mind get in the way. Like, the best way is to be blank-minded. Be blank-minded. And be delusional and just keep hyping yourself up. Not to be delusional saying like, oh my God, the sky's green. But not to say, you're being delusional, but keep telling yourself certain things and you'll believe it. I don't give a fuck what you say. Keep telling yourself certain things and you'll believe it. Yeah, you'll believe it. I wouldn't let the mind get in the way of what you got going on. Because that shit that's making you stop is old programming. That same shit that's making you not do those things, that's an old way of thinking that is not serving you. So you got to cut that where it stands. Cut that shit down, bro. Because it's not getting you nowhere. It's not expanding you. It's not letting you be spontaneous. You kind of have to put yourself out there. Yeah, you kind of have to. You ain't certain things that you're partaking in, that you're seeking towards. Some of them you got a choice and you can miss out on the opportunity, but some things you ain't got a choice of where you're gonna be put in the fire where you're gonna have to learn the easy way or learn the hard way. It's your choice though. It's your choice. Affirmations is good. Putting fuel in the fire, stuff that can build you up. Those are always good. But the key is to just go out there and do it. As long as you're taking baby steps, as long as you're doing progress to get to that space and place of, growth, you got to just do it. Get your foot wet. Get your feet wet. Sometimes you got to get your feet wet. Can't just be dry all the time, being in the same shit that you're used to. That's being dry, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to get your feet wet, though. Yeah, sometimes you just got to get out there. That's about it, though. I don't know if we got anything else. I think that's about it. I need some water. I know that much. My fucking brain hurts. But yeah, I believe that's it. We don't hit 30 minutes. Just learn how to be comfortable being outside of your comfort zone. That's, yeah, that's the key right now. And I know that for a fact. I got some shit I gotta work on. I'm not even gonna cap. Before I get thrown in the fire and I'm back a couple steps and I gotta play catch up. I don't like playing catch up. Yeah, I don't like playing catch up. I like being, on top of things. But it is what it is though. But that's your boy Shaman Truth. I think that's it, yo. But if you want to support the nigga, EG Fisker on all platforms. EJJIFISKER. And this is my music, by the way. Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music. All them platforms where, you play music. If you want to send a cash donation, my cash app is money sign EG Fisker 1. The spelling for that is same way how you spelled my name. You just put a 1 at the end. EJJIFISKER 1. I am on Patreon at Shaman Truths. You just put patreon.com/Shaman Truth. There's an S at the end of truth. Or you can look me up on the creators tab. There's a search bar. You can contact my email if you really need some. ShamanTruths@gmail.com. If you need some amulets for protection, I got you. I only got like 6 because there's a lot of energy I'll be working with. I'm not trying to get drained. So if you need something, I got you. I think that's about it though, I don't want to be on here rambling, but that's your boy. I'm out. Peace. Peace.